Hi there and welcome to my reflections on the story and the life of Jesus. And in today's video, we're going to talk about receive. So what we see Jesus walking from Jericho to Jerusalem, and this is the last time he kind of makes this journey into Jerusalem. And as he's on his way, there's this blind man and he heals this blind man. And then he walks towards Jerusalem, and in that place, he tells his disciples to go get a donkey so that he could ride into Jerusalem. Now this is filled with massive prophetic fulfillment, that this is the way that the Messiah would enter into Jerusalem. He entered into a specific gate as well in Jerusalem, into that city. And so he's riding in on a donkey that's never been ridden before. And the people of Jerusalem, they are absolutely filled with praise. They begin to throw their cloaks down onto the floor. They begin to cut off palm branches and they put them on the floor so that Jesus may ride into the city on their praise. They're crying out, Hosanna. They're crying out, save. They're crying out, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. They are giving all this praise to Jesus as he's entering into the city. And it's amazing. Just that on this praise is how Jesus enters Jerusalem. And then when we see him, he goes to the temple. And at the temple, oh man, Jesus does this incredible thing. Jesus starts to flip over the tables of the money changers, and he begins to cause absolute havoc for those who are buying and selling in the temple. And he makes this proclamation that this is my house, this is my Father's house, this is a house of prayer for all nations. Yet you people have turned it into a den of robbers. You see, that made it into a commercial marketplace. But Jesus was saying this is a house to be honored. And then we see that the blind and the lame, they come into the temple after it's been cleared out, and Jesus heals all of them. And then the Pharisees and the religious leaders, they come and they see all that's going on and they're indignant. People come to Jesus to be healed, yet they come and they're indignant because they hear little children saying praises and singing praises to Jesus, saying he's the Son of David. And they're indignant. They say to Jesus, do you hear what these children are saying about you? And Jesus quotes the psalm, how on the voice and the praise of infants, Jesus is honored, God is glorified. And it's just an incredible way of how they receive Jesus. And my reflection on today's story about Jesus is really thinking about how they received him into the city. They received Jesus with praise. They received Jesus with honor. They received Jesus as they would receive a triumphant king returning to the city. And I wonder about us, how we receive Jesus. Do we receive Jesus like the religious leaders with unbelief and skepticism and an indignant spirit? Or do we receive Jesus like the little children? Do we receive Jesus like the people of Jerusalem before Jesus goes to the cross? Do we receive him with praise and glory and honor, to receive him as a king? And then when we receive him, when Jesus wants to reorder our life, how do we respond? There's always stuff that's in our life that needs to be reordered by Jesus. The way Jesus reordered the temple and said, guys, this is not a place for the market. This is a place where my Father is honored, where people can come to pray. And Jesus wants to do some internal work in our heart, but how will we respond to that? If we receive him with praise, will we let him do the work that he wants to do in our hearts? And I encourage you that you would let him do that. Because if you let him reorder the inner world, that you become holy and blameless and a place of glory in your life, that Jesus can use that to do incredible miracles, bring healing to you, bring healing to other people. So I encourage you on my reflection today, receive Jesus with praise. Let him do his work inside of our hearts, that he can work in and through our lives. Well, I hope that this has been helpful to you. I'd love to know what your reflection on this story would be and what God is speaking into your heart. God bless you, and I'll see you again in the next video.